Every region has its secrets, stories buried in the soil, whispered through generations, and kept alive in the dark. But some tales refuse to fade. They linger, waiting to be told again. Welcome to the premiere of Urban Legends, Echoes of Fear, where we travel from coast to coast, uncovering urban legends from across America, one story at a time, from A to Z. These are the legends that never rest, the ones you hear as a child and never quite outgrow. In each episode, we'll take you beyond the headlines and history books, into the places where folklore feels real and fear feels close. Tonight, the journey begins. We start in the Deep South, in Alabama, a land thick with history, shadowed by moss-draped trees and stories that have never been fully laid to rest. Here, the nights feel longer, the silence heavier, and if you listen closely, you'll hear the legends still whispering through the dark. This is where our path through America's most haunting urban legends begins. And Alabama is only the first. Urban legend number 1, Huggin' Molly, the Phantom of Abbeville. They say there's something different about the night air in Abbeville, Alabama. As the sun sets behind the pine trees and the street lamps flicker on, shadows stretch longer, and a chill creeps up your spine. It's not just the darkness that unsettles you. It's the feeling that something might be watching. Something tall. Something quiet. Something with arms wide open. This is the legend of Huggin' Molly. For decades, maybe longer, parents in Abbeville have warned their children not to linger after sundown. Not just because it's polite to be home before dark, but because Molly might be waiting. They say she's enormous, towering close to 7 feet tall, with long, spindly arms and a body draped in black from neck to toe. A wide-brimmed hat casts a permanent shadow over her face, hiding any trace of who she once was, or what she has become. She moves without a sound, gliding through alleys and under streetlights, and she only ever comes out at night. Huggin' Molly doesn't hurt anyone. Not exactly. She waits for children walking alone after dark. Maybe they're heading home from a friend's house. Maybe they just took too long chasing fireflies. And when she finds them, she wraps them up in a crushing embrace. Then, just inches from their ears, she lets out a piercing, bone-rattling scream. No one's ever been physically harmed, but the fear, the shock, the echo of that scream stays with you. To some, she's just a ghost story, a creative way to keep kids from wandering too far from home. But in Abbeville, the legend runs deeper. There are those who swear they've seen her, a tall figure disappearing down side streets, a shadow that didn't belong, the sudden sense of being wrapped in cold arms without anyone around. There are different versions of her story. Some say she was once a grieving mother who lost her baby to illness or tragedy. Driven mad by sorrow, she began hugging other children, trying to fill the emptiness that her own child left behind. Others believe she was once a strict but kind-hearted professor at the old Southeast Alabama Agriculture School. She cared deeply for her students and worried about their safety, especially at night. After her death, her spirit remained, protective, if terrifying, making sure no one roamed the streets alone. Despite the fear she inspires, Huggin' Molly is strangely beloved in Abbeville. She's part of the town's identity. Downtown on Kirkland Street sits a cafe that bears her name, Huggin' Molly's. It's a nostalgic, family-friendly place set in an old pharmacy, complete with a soda fountain and a menu full of whimsical, spooky treats. You can order Molly fingers, sandwiches, and old-fashioned milkshakes. Inside, the walls are decorated with nods to the legend, paintings, stories, and memorabilia that keep the ghost alive in more ways than one. But even in a place where she's celebrated, there's still a quiet reverence for the spirit said to roam these streets. People may smile at her likeness in the cafe, but they still keep an eye on the dark. And kids in Abbeville? They still hurry home when the sky begins to dim. Because the stories haven't stopped. Every few years, someone, usually a child, will tell of a strange encounter. A tall figure in black. A cold wind that wrapped around them like arms. A scream that no one else heard. They call her a ghost, a guardian, a grieving mother, a night walker. But everyone agrees on one thing. If you find yourself alone in Abbeville after dark, you'd better walk fast. You'd better stick to the light. And whatever you do, don't ignore the sound of footsteps behind you. Because Huggin' Molly may just be looking for someone to hold. And when she does, she never lets go without a scream. Urban legend number 2. Bear Creek Swamp, Alabama's forgotten haunting. Deep in the heart of Autauga County, Alabama, hidden behind thickets of moss-draped trees and tangled vines, lies Bear Creek Swamp, a place that seems untouched by time. To the casual passerby, it's just another patch of southern wetlands. But to locals, it's something else entirely. A place steeped in mystery. A place whispered about after dark. A place many believe is haunted. Bear Creek Swamp has long been the source of eerie legends and chilling encounters. For generations, strange happenings have been reported along the edges of the water and deep in the woods beyond. People speak of phantom lights floating just above the swamp, drifting silently before disappearing into the trees. There are stories of ghostly apparitions walking the roads nearby, of footsteps that follow you when no one is there, and of screams, shrill, distant, and unmistakably human, echoing through the night. But one legend stands above the rest. According to local folklore, the swamp is haunted by the spirit of a grieving mother, a woman who lost her child to the treacherous waters long ago. No one knows her name, and her story changes from one telling to the next. Some say she was a settler's wife whose baby vanished during a flood. Others believe she was a native woman who died while searching for her stolen child. Whatever the origin, the tale is always the same. Her spirit never moved on. She remains, searching, wandering the swamp in eternal mourning. The bravest among the curious, or perhaps the most foolish, venture into the swamp at night to test the legend. They say if you stand at the edge of the water and speak the words, "We have your baby," the spirit will come to you. At first, there is silence. Then the air grows cold. The trees seem to lean closer. And if the legend holds true, the mother appears, wailing, angry, desperate. Some describe a glowing figure with wild eyes and long, tattered robes. Others say she's nothing more than a sound, a scream that pierces the night and leaves your blood cold. In 2014, the myth took a terrifying turn when local authorities discovered something straight out of a horror film. In the dead of night, someone had placed 21 porcelain dolls throughout the swamp, each mounted on bamboo stakes, arranged in strange positions, their faces chipped and eyes wide open. The dolls' hair was painted white, and they stood like silent sentinels among the trees. Officials dismissed it as a prank, but many in Autauga County weren't so sure. To them, it was a sign, a warning, proof that something sinister still lingers in Bear Creek Swamp. Even beyond the ghost stories, the swamp holds layers of history that feed its reputation. Some say the land is cursed, home to spirits of native warriors driven from their ancestral land. Others believe Civil War soldiers who died in the nearby forests never truly left, their souls now trapped in the swampy stillness. Visitors today describe the place as unnaturally quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against your ears. Animals grow silent, the wind stops blowing, and suddenly you realize you're not alone. The trees here are thick with moss, the water is dark and slow, and when the fog rolls in, it's easy to lose your way. People talk of sudden panic, of the sense of being watched. Some claim their electronics fail without explanation. Others describe hearing voices, sometimes just behind them, whispering their names. And yet, people keep coming. Ghost hunters, thrill seekers, skeptics, all drawn to the mystery. Some come away laughing, others come away shaken. A few refuse to speak of what they saw. Bear Creek Swamp is more than just a haunted place. It's a place that remembers. A place that doesn't easily give up its dead. So if you find yourself in Autauga County, and your path leads you down that lonely stretch of road near the swamp, be cautious. Don't stop your car. Urban legend number 3. Hell's Gate Bridge, Alabama's portal to the other side. In the quiet town of Oxford, Alabama, tucked away off the beaten path, there lies an old bridge with a reputation darker than the waters it spans. The structure itself is rusted, closed to vehicles now, its skeletal frame standing like a monument to something forgotten, or perhaps something deliberately left behind. Locals call it Hell's Gate Bridge. It's not just a name, it's a warning. For decades, this bridge has been the center of one of Alabama's most chilling urban legends. At first glance, it's just a narrow, aging steel bridge stretching over the murky waters of Chocolaco Creek. but those who know the story won't go near it after dark. They say the bridge is cursed, haunted, that it's not just a crossing, but a gateway. The most well-known legend begins decades ago in the 1950s. According to the story, a young couple was driving across the bridge late one rainy night. The details vary. Some say the car skidded out of control. Others claim something unseen pulled them into the creek below. Either way, the result was the same. The car plunged into the water, and both passengers drowned. Since then, strange things have happened on that bridge. One of the most chilling tales comes from those who stopped their cars in the dead of night, right in the center of the bridge. The ritual is simple. Turn off your engine, shut off all your lights, and wait in silence. Then, it happens. They say that if you sit long enough in the darkness, one of the drowned souls will find you. Without warning, you'll feel a shift in the air. Cold, heavy. And then, the sensation of someone else in the car. When you finally turn your lights back on and look over, there will be no one there. But the seat beside you? Wet. Damp with water that wasn't there before. The moisture seeps into the fabric fast, as if pulled from a soaked body that sat in silence beside you, only to vanish without a trace. The rest of the legend is even more disturbing. They say that after you leave the bridge, if you glance in your rearview mirror, you won't see the road stretching quietly behind you. Instead, you might catch a glimpse of something else, something impossible. Fire, smoke, a twisted burning landscape behind your car. For just a moment, the world behind you is replaced by something much darker, something infernal. That's how the bridge earned its name, Hell's Gate. Even for those who don't believe in ghosts or portals to the underworld, the bridge holds an undeniable weight. The air around it feels heavier. Time seems to slow. The silence is unnatural. No birdsong, no wind, just the creak of metal and the ripple of water beneath. Some who visited the bridge describe a feeling of being watched. Others say they heard footsteps behind them when no one else was there. In more recent years, the bridge has been permanently closed to traffic. Officials cited safety concerns, its structure too weak, too unstable to support the weight of vehicles. But some locals whisper a different reason. Too many strange events, too many disappearances, too many people daring to tempt fate. Today, the bridge stands as a shadow of itself. Vines creep up the supports, graffiti marks the rusted beams, and yet, people still come. Thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and those drawn to darkness. They stand on the bridge at midnight, calling out to the spirits. Some even bring voice recorders, hoping to capture the whisper of the drowned couple or the roar of something far worse. Some get nothing, others get more than they bargained for, because Hell's Gate Bridge is more than an old relic. It's a mirror, a threshold, a place where this world brushes up against another, and sometimes, if the conditions are just right, that other world brushes back. So if you ever find yourself in Oxford, Alabama, and someone offers to show you the bridge, think twice before you say yes. And if you do go, turn off the lights, but don't wait too long, because you might not like who joins you in the passenger seat, and you might not come back the same. Every legend begins with a whisper, a name, a sound in the dark. But once you hear it, it stays with you. Whether it's a spirit wrapped in sorrow, a cry lost in the trees, or something waiting in the passenger seat, one thing becomes clear. Truth doesn't always need proof. These stories live on not because they're harmless, but because they just might be true. And this is only the beginning. This is Tyler with Urban Legends, Echoes of Fear. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Follow us as we dig deeper, through haunted crossroads, forgotten halls, and towns that never left the past behind. Until next time, stay curious and stay creepy. Bye for now.